going to change this so agents can just pop in when they come in. Big congratulations to you guys for showing up today to learn 7 real estate SEO tips and strategies for 2023. Again, it is just another reminder of if you have not done your online presence audit yet, or when you do, and when you continue to create content for your website, social media, blog post, all that kind of stuff, just make sure, is it being optimized for SEO? We're going to talk about what SEO is, why it's important, and then I'll go through 7 tips and strategies. Of course, as always, you can always go to rocuniversity.com to see our training schedule. Let's see what we got next week. I think it's data. The data one I'm super excited about because any chance I can talk about data. You would think I wanted to be an engineer or something, but no, next week's YouTube Studio Masterclass, okay? So you can register for that. And then the following week is those 9 ways a real estate agent should leverage data in 2023. That one's gonna be super, super good. So make sure to register for that. And then the end of the month, we're gonna talk about some creative ways to generate more real estate leads. Maybe some buyer webinars, seller webinars, right? There's a lot of top producing agents that are having success with those. But you can always go to VIP All Access as well. We have all those templates in there for you guys every single month that you can leverage and save time. All right, let's just jump in. So why is SEO important in 2023 and really every single year, right? So in the competitive world of real estate, having your strong online presence is not optional. Okay, we've talked about online presence before. The internet is our store. Okay, think of it as that. Your internet is our store. Think of the internet as our headquarters, like our flagship. Okay, that's where people go to find us. We don't have a physical store, so we are a digital, okay, online. Then think of your Facebook, Instagram, Google business profile as different store locations, okay? So the internet's your big empire, your store, your online presence, and then each platform are your different locations, and each are equally important. So 93% of home buyers use the internet during their search process. That's not shocking. 44% of them looking for properties online before even contacting an agent. This is why you have to embed yourself into their ecosystem before they even realize who they're talking to, before they even understand that they're going to pick up the phone and call you. You're going to trap them into your ecosystem through great content, good online presence, right? Everything's going to be optimized. And of course, to thrive in this digital era, we as agents need to invest in search engine optimization. If you didn't know what SEO stood for, it means search engine optimization, right? Google. Okay, there's several different search engines, but Google's the #1 website in the world, so we have to play their game. This helps you increase your website visibility and attract those potential clients, okay? So search engine optimization is the practice of optimizing a website to improve its visibility on search engine results, or SERPs, if you want to abbreviate it, for targeted keyword and phrases. We're going to talk a lot about targeted keywords and phrases. We're going to talk about long tail keywords, what that looks like, how that goes hand in hand with a voice search. Okay, who's ever asked Alexa to find something, Google or Siri? Okay, we need to make sure that we're optimizing our content for that. All right, but search engine optimization is to increase your organic search visibility, non-paid. Okay, you can always pay. You can run Google ads or pay-per-click ads so that you show up at the very top of a search based on keywords. You're buying keywords so you show up on those 3 to 4 top searches that say sponsored. Okay, that's one way to increase your SEO. Paid. Okay, it's not cheap. I'll tell you that. Google is pay-per-click ads are not cheap. They're effective, but you have to equally, if not more, focus on your organic SEO. Okay, so when someone does a search, that you show up, on the first page. It's always going to be the first page and the top of the fold. The more opportunities that you have to show up at the top of the page or your Google business profile to show up, the more opportunity you have to convert new clients or be in front of new prospects or clients. All right. Strategy #1, Optimize for local searches. You've heard me talk about local over and over again, why location is so important. Google favors location. So you want to make sure you're including that in all of your content. But since real estate is inherently a local business, optimizing your website for local searches is essential. 69% of home shoppers begin their research with a local keyword phrase, something like homes for sale in Phoenix, homes for sale in Salt Lake City, homes for sale in Las Vegas, wherever you are, okay? Right? It's that intentional search. If we go to Google, that is us, that's considered an intentional search because we're typing in a phrase for something, and typically it's going to show up based on location. All right, so to optimize your website for local searches, we're going to talk about a few items here. Include your target location in your URL. You always want to make sure you're doing it in your title tags, meta descriptions, and headers. That's more for like web design, but even if your brokerage offers a website, you still have the ability to add those target keyword location into the title tags and meta descriptions, okay? You want to integrate local location-specific keywords in your content. So when you're going through and you're writing blog content, or I should say now, when you're having ChatGPT write your blog content for you, you want to be specific in those prompts that to include location-specific keywords in that article. And I already ran something through ChatGPT that I'm going to show you guys so that you can tell it to act as an SEO expert, tell it to include local keywords for your markets, all right, and also to optimize it for voice search. Okay, so I'll show you what that looks like. But you want to make sure any content that you guys are putting out, whether it be a blog post, whether it be a neighborhood guide on your website, any content on your website, whether it be your bio. Okay, our bio is digital. So when someone searches us, right, it goes through and the search engines are combing through all that content. So make sure your bios are keyword, location specific keywords are in there. Your social media content, the posts that you guys are adding in, those hashtags, right? You want to make sure that you're adding location specific keywords in there. And of course, you want to optimize your Google business profile. Okay, you should audit that at least once a quarter. Okay, it gives you opportunity. You can post things there as well. So if you're posting blogs on your website, highly recommend you also post those on your Google business profile. If you're posting social media content on Facebook and Instagram, also post those on your Google business profile. And I'll show you what that looks like here. Let's see if I can pull up mine. I need to come into this one. Who knows what name it is now? I barely got this back. It's not going to be that. Maybe it's real estate consultant. State consultant. Okay, so on your Google business profile, when you start posting, notice here, right, you can add an update. If I click add update, I can add the description. They give you 1,500 characters. So a typical blog post isn't going to post in there. But what I do is I post my blog up to the amount that it allows. Okay, so the first like 3 paragraphs fit in there. And then I do 3 dots. Right? 3 dots tell us that it continues, and then they allow you an action button. So you can click learn more, and it takes you actually to that blog so they can read the rest of the blog here. Okay, so then there's the actual blog. But if I go back, right, you want to make sure that you are adding content to your Google business profile as well. And you want to make sure that in your blog content or anything that you're posting, you are adding in those keywords. Okay. The reason why posting here is important is because when people are going into Google Maps or they're searching real estate agent near me or sell my house or anything like that, and those keywords come up and your profile shows up in their map search, you want to make sure that you have content there, because most agents don't post content to their Google business profile. So if you are posting content there, you're already standing out. Okay, you're giving them more insight, you're giving them more information, and you're getting them in your ecosystem. Remember, the internet is our global, think of it as your global store, right? And then this is one location. okay? In the internet, this is one of your stores. This is one location. But this is an important one because people will start reading your reviews. If you have articles on here or any updates, they're going to start reading that. They're going to get interested into you. They're going to start being in your ecosystem. They're going to click on your website, and it's just a rabbit hole from there, okay? So you want to make sure that you are posting content there as well. Perfect. Jacqueline, I was just saying hi. Okay, let's go back here. Present. Okay, so make sure that you go in and you're optimize your Google business profile and make sure that you are regularly posting there. Of course, you should always be getting reviews there. Respond to those reviews. If your client did not leave location in the review, make sure you reply to that review, include location. It was so great helping sell your home in Phoenix, Arizona, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, wherever you're at. You want to make sure you include that in there. You also want to make sure that your name is correct, your address is on there. If it's not addressed in service areas, you want to make sure that your service areas are up to date. And of course, your phone number, okay? So you want to make sure that's all up to date. So you optimize for local searches. Think local. Anytime that you are posting content anywhere, you want to make sure whether you sell in Phoenix, Arizona, you're going to use that over and over again, or you're selling Salt Lake City, you're going to be using Salt Lake City over and over again in your content. Las Vegas, same thing. Any little markets that you guys sell in, you want to make sure that you are adding those location names in there over and over again. Strategy number 2, focus on long tail keywords. So we hear about keywords all the time. So we know what keywords are. It's Phoenix, Arizona. It's real estate. It's new home buyer. It's right. Those are all keywords. Long tail keywords are more how humans actually search. When you go to Google, okay, see down here this example, houses for sale would be considered a keyword. Phoenix would be considered a keyword, Las Vegas, right? Long tail keywords are going to be more single family homes for sale in Phoenix, Arizona. You see how that's longer and it's more specific. Okay, so when you're adding content or you're creating content, think of trying to incorporate more long tail keywords into that content. And that's something you can actually, because I know no one's writing blog content anymore. We're just sending it to ChatGPT. Make sure if you're doing that, any type of artificial intelligence platforms that you guys are using, make sure to let it know to use long tail keywords. Okay, prompts, make sure those are in the prompts. So they're longer than specific keywords, phrases that are less competitive. So long tail keywords are typically less competitive, but they have a higher conversion rate. Does that make sense? Because it's more specific. So it's just like hashtags. If you have a very market specific hashtag, you know, Phoenix real estate is going to have less searches than just real estate. But it's more specific to your market, which is more important. Okay. Remember, I always talk about micro and macro. You can think of macro as more of your long tail. It's very specific in a search or very specific to your market. And macro is going to be very large, right? Real estate in general. That's global. That could be anywhere. But you want to make sure that you are incorporating long tail keywords that are specific. So maybe in a blog content, you're talking about how you help clients with single family homes that are for sale in Phoenix, Arizona. You help sellers sell their single family homes, sell their condos in Phoenix, Arizona, right? So just keep in mind that when you're creating that content, that you're also incorporating those LTK or the long tail keywords in there. Does that make sense? The difference between regular keywords and long tail? Cool. So here, like this other example here, for instance, 3-bedroom home with pool in city. A lot of people are already using long tail keywords in their social media posts because naturally we're adding 3-bedroom home with pool in Phoenix, Arizona as part of that description or as part of our listing description. So unknowingly, we're probably using a lot of long tail keywords in certain instances, but we need to make sure that we're incorporating those on our website, right? Our main store. We want to make sure we're including that in our blogs because those are going to go across our Google business profile. We're posting them on our website. We're posting them on, our social media platforms, all that good stuff. Okay. So by targeting these long tail keywords, us as agents can rank higher on search engines and attract more qualified leads, right? It's all about driving more traffic, and it's all about showing up more in those searches organically. Okay, sweat equity or check equity. Sweat equity is you're focusing a lot of your time on SEO. Check equity, you're just paying to run ads with Google so that you show up at the top. And again, very expensive. Gets very expensive. Okay, so you want to make sure you're also creating high quality content. And what does that look like? Okay, what does high quality content look like? And a lot of the trainings, we've talked about several different topics that you guys can incorporate when you're creating that content. But producing high quality and informative, another word for informative would be educational content, is essential for boosting your website's SEO performance. It's not just buy or sell with me. It's here is more information about property taxes in Arizona. Okay, so for example, let me go back here. Okay, this is one of the websites. I'm going to go to my blogs real quick, and I believe I have it published. Let me see. Investor's Paradise. Here, understanding property taxes. Okay, this is very specific, but if somebody's looking to move to Arizona, the likelihood of this popping up as one of the search results is high, because I talk about Phoenix, Arizona a lot in here, and also about property taxes. If someone's researching property taxes in Phoenix, Arizona, the likelihood of this popping up is greater, because I know just from experience that most agents aren't adding blog content like this. We're not creating educational or high quality content that would be beneficial to your clients. So you're letting them learn more about the property tax in Phoenix, talking about due dates, talking about how they pay property taxes, tax exemptions and some other stuff that may show up. Okay, so the content that you create doesn't just need to be buy and sell with me. It needs to be high quality in terms of you're educating about everything in that market. Create a blog about schools. Okay. Create a blog about hiking, create a blog about new businesses that are moving, about the local economy there, about all the different activities. Oh my gosh, you could create a blog about this new craze of pickleball. If I hear someone talk about pickleball one more time, I'm going to go and play it myself. It is insane how popular this has become. There's courts popping up everywhere, but talk about that, talk about the weather, talk about the golfing, talk about the events. If you're in Arizona, Las Vegas is very similar. We have a lot of events that happen here. Okay. I think Vegas is next for the Super Bowl, right? Are they? Yeah. So talk about that. How's that going to drive traffic? Are you prepared to talk about rental properties? Do you have blog content already for that? Gear up for those searches, because let me tell you, those searches are coming. Okay, so be prepared for that. Make sure that your online presence and all that is good to go. All right, I'm going to pop back over here. I'm going to be popping back and forth. Okay, so survey conducted by NAR, 51% of home buyers cited that finding the right property was the most difficult step in the home buying process. Think of yourself as educators. Okay, I train you guys on the latest strategies, technology for the industry. You guys should be educating and training your clients and potential clients on everything that pertains to your local market. Okay, everything that we just talked about. They want to learn more. They want to be educated. Addressing this issue, agents can create valuable content to educate potential clients and establish themselves as industry experts. Again, when somebody's looking for an agent or they're starting to research or do their searches, the more content that you have available positions you as the authority in that market. So if I look at, let's say, Carrie, for instance, and her blogs are all great. She has a lot of content on there. I'm getting educated. I'm in her ecosystem, right? I'm clicking through. And then I go to another agent and they have no blog content on their Google business profile, or they have no blogs on their website altogether, which is common because the time it takes to actually physically write a blog is a lot, but now we have tools that can alleviate that for us. So we need to make it a point and we need to add it to our to-do list to try to get a new blog or some type of new piece of content to our site on a weekly basis, whether it be a neighborhood guide or just a regular blog in general. We should be adding that to our sites weekly. Okay, but in that example, I'm probably going to go with Carrie because she has all this content. I'm getting educated. I'm in her ecosystem, as opposed to another agent that I feel like maybe this agent sells 10 times as many homes as Carrie, but they have no content for me. I don't feel like they're the authority in that market because their online presence isn't good. So I'm going to go with Carrie because she has all this educational pieces. She has all this content for me to consume. So blog posts about local real estate market trends and statistics are always great. Tips for home buyers and sellers. 5 things you need to know before selling. 5 reasons you should move to Las Vegas, right? Neighborhood guides are huge. I would do neighborhood guides less of a blog and more of just added content to your site. So let's say that you sell in Las Vegas. I was there yesterday, so I'm just gonna use that example. So you sell in Las Vegas. I'm gonna create a neighborhood guide. Maybe I sell in Summerlin as well. So I'm gonna create a neighborhood guide on my site, maybe a new type in the navigation bar. And I'm gonna put Summerlin real estate. When they click on that, it's then a neighborhood guide about everything about Summerlin. Maybe I have one for Henderson. Maybe I have one for Green Valley. Basically the same, I think. And then maybe you have one for, different markets in your area, different communities or different subdivisions. In Phoenix, maybe I have one specifically for Phoenix, Gilbert, Tempe, Scottsdale, right? Those different areas. So think of neighborhood guides as more informational pages as opposed to a blog that's, could be about golfing and stuff like that. And of course, down here, I have leverage AI technology like ChatGPT. We've been talking about this for weeks now. It alleviates a lot of the pain points. I know, let me pull mine up here. So I asked it to create a blog. Here's my prompt, okay? Write a blog, and I can paste this into the chat box so you guys can use the prompt and just edit it. But I said, write a blog article for my real estate website on 5 reasons why you should move to Phoenix, Arizona. Act as an SEO expert and make sure to include keywords that are relevant to real estate in Phoenix, Arizona. Optimize the blog for voice search. We're going to talk about voice search in a couple slides, but optimize the blog for voice search. And then they went through and wrote this, okay? And then you can go and paste that on your site. But they're going to take it and they're going to mention Phoenix over and over and over again. They're talking about moving to Phoenix. They're talking about everything, the job market, but they're going to mention those keywords over and over again. And there's going to be some long tail keywords in there so that they're optimized for that voice search as well. Okay, but let me go ahead and paste this in there as a prompt example that you guys can use, copy and use as well. Everyone in meeting, paste, send, cool. All right, gonna go back here. Okay, so leverage, these tools and platforms we have to create this content, but you want to make sure that you are consistently creating high quality content. Think educational. Think of anything. If you're driving, just start a notes in your app and just start writing down a bunch of different, ideas for blog or neighborhood guides and things like that. All right, number 4, optimize for speed and mobile. This is a little bit more technical. And if your brokerage offers a website, it's probably going to be already optimized for mobile. But a couple things for speed, right? A slow loading website can hurt your SEO rankings and drive away potential clients. 53% of mobile users will leave a site that takes longer than 3 seconds to load. Okay, in Vegas, I say we're joking about having an attention span. We don't. If it's not loading in 3 seconds, we're moving on. Okay, so you want to make sure that your site not only has great content on it, but it loads quickly. So optimize your site for speed by compressing images, using browser caching, minimizing any HTTP requests. You want to make sure that your site is secure. You have an SSL certificate. Most sites do, but you want to make sure. As we know, over 80% of home buyers use mobile during their search process, but you want to make sure it's you have that SSL certificate. Okay, you don't want a box to pop up to say proceed with caution. That never looks good. Okay, you want to build that trust. And also note video. So video is huge. Okay, we've talked about video before. Okay. However, you want to make sure that if you're posting video on your site, that it's being not necessarily loaded to your site directly, but maybe you're adding the link from the YouTube video on your site, or it allows you to host that video on another site and it still shows up on your website. Okay, if you upload a video directly to your website, the servers of your site are going to take longer to load that, so your load speed is going to take a lot longer, as opposed to my site. I'll show you an example again on this site here. If I scroll down, you're going to notice after it refreshes. Okay, you're going to notice there's a video here, but it's not actually loaded on the site. When I click that, I'm sorry, error concern. But when you click that, it's going to open up on your actual YouTube page there, and it will load that way. Okay, so images, of course, high quality images are important. You just want to make sure that they're compressed. They can still retain their quality in terms of it's not going to be blurry. You just want to make sure that they're not slowing down your site. All right, in one of these slides, I have a link to Google that will help you optimize your site and tell you things that you should do to improve it, maybe things to remove to make it faster. So I'll share that with you guys as well. All right, social media and backlinks. Backlinks are super important for your SEO. What backlinks are is basically just links on a bunch of third-party websites. So if you have a link in your Instagram bio, that's considered a backlink if it's leading back to your website. Okay, if you have a link in your Google business profile, that's a backlink. If you have a Yelp and your website's on there, that's a backlink. If you've been featured on any magazines or digital articles, or if you've been featured in anything, right? Any accolades, anything that is done on another site should always have a link that leads back to your main website. Okay, so by sharing your content on popular platforms like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn can generate more engagement and drive traffic back to your site. Google loves backlinks. It verifies you as a business. It lets them know that you are real, and it helps you show up more organically on that first page. Okay, because it's all connecting the dots basically. Okay. Inherently, we've been using backlinks. You didn't even know it, just like the social media platforms I talked to you about. If you have a LinkedIn, make sure your website link is on that profile as well. That's considered a backlink. So just think of all these other third-party sites. Zillow, right? Is your website in your Zillow profile, and does that link back to your site, your main website? Backlinks from reputable websites can boost your domain authority and improve your search rankings, right? You can reach out to local bloggers. Maybe you can, there's a local coffee shop or a local golf course or something that maybe you're writing an article on, and they will feature it. Or maybe you can be featured on their website or their platform or their blog post. And on their platform, it links back to your main website. So say you're working with a local influencer, a local news outlet to give them a market update, or a local business. Okay, and they're going to share that, of course, on their social media, but you want to make sure in that article or wherever it is posted that links back to your website. Okay, it's a little bit more advanced, but just know social media and backlinks are a huge part of the Google algorithm to make sure that you show up organically. Okay, it greatly improves that search ranking. Any questions on backlinks? Very, very important. All right, number 6, voice search. Just when we thought ChatGPT was overwhelming in the sense of relief, right? But now we have voice search, okay? So it's estimated that by the end of this year, 50% of all searches are going to be voice-based. Okay, so that means you're talking to Alexa, you're talking to Google, you're talking to Siri, right? All those different voice commands are going to be 50%, it's estimated, by the end of this year. So to optimize for voice search, you want to focus on conversational and more long tail keywords and ensure your website has a clear site structure for easy navigation. So in your navigation bar, is it clear? Do you have a tab for home buyers? Do you have a tab for sellers? Do you have a tab for your blog? Do you have a tab for more about you? Do you have tabs for local information, right? Those neighborhood guides would be huge for this voice search. Okay, you want to make sure it's clear site structure though, so that when someone does a voice command and it goes through and does its searches, that it can clearly understand that, yes, this neighborhood guide for Phoenix would be relevant to what they're asking. Think, when you guys are creating content in general, think more conversational going forward. Think more human conversation going forward. Just like if Carrie and I were talking about, oh, I'm thinking about maybe buying in Las Vegas, I just want to learn more about the market there. So someone's going to do a voice command and say, tell me more about the real estate market in Las Vegas, right? So maybe in that article, you say, do you want to learn more about the real estate market in Las Vegas, right? You're more that long-term, keyword phrase, and it's more conversational. Does that make sense? Right? More conversational based, because that's going to help you show up in these voice searches. And we don't think that 50% by the end of this year, I'm not surprised by that, because there's so many things that are done through voice. I mean, even the hands-free in the car, right? You're asking to call somebody, or where's a local Starbucks or place to eat, right? We're doing all these voice commands. Okay, so we just want to make sure that the content that we're creating is going to be optimized for that. Write the content to be more conversational. And again, if you're leveraging ChatGPT or any other AI, tell it to focus on conversational and long tail keywords. All you have to do is tell it. So voice search keywords include more natural language phrasing, right? Just like you're having a conversation with another human. Long tail searches and questions. Structure your content to be dialogue friendly. Maybe it's going back and forth. Okay, maybe some of your articles is more interview style, right? Going back and forth. Make sure your content, of course, is geographic location friendly. When someone does a voice search, remember I did the voice search and I said in Las Vegas, you want to make sure that that content has those geographic location keywords in there. Cool. Siri, Alexa, Google, right? Taking over our lives. They better hurry because ChatGPT is well ahead of them. All right, track your progress with analytics. Number 7, just like what you would do to spend money on any type of advertising, whether you're generating leads or direct mail, postcards, anything like that, you want to make sure that you have an ROI. And it's just the same for your SEO performance, okay? So it's crucial to monitor your website's performance and SEO efforts by utilizing analytics tools. Google Analytics is an excellent free tool. I'm going to share the link with you guys that provides valuable insights into your website's traffic, audience behavior, okay? Keywords here, traffic. So it's going to give you insights on the traffic that's going to your site, the audience behavior, the consumers that are looking at your site or searching that show up, and conversion rate. Are they clicking on things? Okay. By analyzing this data, you can identify areas for improvements and make data-driven decisions to refine your SEO strategies. All right. So Google Search Console here. Let me click on this. I'm going to copy this and give it to you guys in the chat box. Do this today, this week, set time aside. This is the biggest call to action for this training today. I want you guys to go through and actually do this action, do this exercise. So this is what it looks like. Improve your performance on Google search. You're going to click start now. It's going to ask you for your website domain. So if I put in justintaylor.com, it's going to ask me to verify this. I'm not going to go through the whole process, but I'll show you guys the initial. It's going to ask you to verify, which is a good thing. So they know that that web domain is hosted by GoDaddy. So it's going to ask me to log in and verify that I actually own that domain, because fortunately, and I guess unfortunately in some thought process, they of course are not going to give you analytics of Walmart.com or Target.com or your competing agent. Okay, so there's a safety net there that you are the only one that will be able to see these analytics for your website. But you're going to go through, you're going to start the verification process, and then it's going to list keywords that are helping you that you should double down on and include more of. It'll give you keywords that are hurting your site, and it will tell you should remove these. So you can go through and edit and remove those and don't use those in the future. And it will give you some other analytics as well to help you just increase your SEO. Yes, Lauren, you can also use it for the ROG site as well. So if you go in and you copy that, if you have your subdomain, meaning it's your first name, last name, .myrealty1group.com. I haven't actually tried that in the system yet, but you can go in and try it because there's no way really to verify the domain. But if you've customized your domain, so you can see here, I have justintaylorhomes.com. This is my ROG site. I would copy that and paste it in there because I can verify that I own this name through GoDaddy. Does that make sense? As opposed to justintaylor.myrealty1group.com. I can't really verify that because I don't own that because this is a subdomain, but I can certainly verify my actual justintaylorhomes.com. Does that make sense? Sort of. Yeah, so yeah, I would get a custom domain first. It's whoever you buy it from. I'd buy it from GoDaddy. It's the easiest way to convert it over. But then you just pay $35 to IDC Global, who manages the one suite for us. And it's a one-time fee, and they give you this SSL certificate up here so that your site is secure. Okay, and then once you get that, then you can go to your Google Search Console and verify it that way. Okay, so again, it's going to talk about your site's performance, the good, the bad. It's going to identify technical issues. Is your loading speed slow? Maybe it's going to say you have too many images. Maybe it'll say you have too many videos, right? Maybe it'll tell you it's not mobile optimized. So it'll tell you all those things. And then of course, that's a little bit more advanced sitemap for indexing. Don't worry about that. That's, you know, that's college class 404. But you can always go in and do this Google Search Console and at least see what keywords are helping you, what keywords are not helping you, if there's any technical issues, and if your website is loading slow. Yeah, Lauren, what is it?
So you have a couple different websites. When you set up your Google business account, like say I have a bunch of different websites too, can you create one account for all of those, or do you, because you have Justin Taylor and Justin Taylor Homes, and that's still real estate, so I could understand bucketing those together. But like I'm not sure how to go about that with what I want to do. For sure. So justintaylor.com is my main site. Okay. So that's what that's typically what I advertise everywhere. That's what's on my Google business profile. But this is my main site. Okay. And then I don't actually have IDX on this site. Shockingly enough, I don't have any home. You can't search for homes on here. Okay. I link to justintaylorhomes.com where they can search for properties. Okay. All right. But I drive all traffic. And I first drive them here. And then if they want to search for homes, or if I'm going to set them up on a search, a listing alert, I do it on justintaylorhomes.com. Okay. But all my backlinks, all my links that are on Google business profile or anywhere will all go to justintaylor.com. Okay. Thank you. Of course. Good question. All right, I'm going to stop there. Any questions on what we went over, or SEO in general, or strategies? Who can I hire to just do it for me? Right. Any questions? Have you used the CPT, or what is it called? Because there's so much controversy around that. I actually have a journalism degree, and so a lot of journalists are very upset about this. So I'm curious as to your thoughts. Do you feel like this does what you need it to do? Does it customize it enough? Tell me more about that. 100%. Yeah, it is. I won't say that it's 100% accurate in the sense of it's 99.9% accurate is what I'll say. Anything that I've asked it to create, I've never had an error. I've never had an error. I've had a couple agents say, it got maybe, it brought up an old program, an old loan program or something on one of them. But, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be solid. I mean, you can see here how I had it write this. Whoops. How how to write this blog article here. I mean, I'm gonna of course read through here, but it's gonna be pretty darn accurate, if not 100%, right? I don't really see anything just quickly looking wrong with that. The other thing is there was a concern that Google and these different platforms were going to, ding you for using AI to create your content, and it's actually quite the opposite. So they've come out and said, we're not going to, because everything is tracked. They know if it was created through artificial intelligence. They know where it was originally sourced. That's why using this AI technology to write a book or write a song or anything that could be copyrighted is going to be difficult, because copyright laws tell us that things can be copyrighted that were created by a human mind. And obviously this is not a human mind. It's being trained like a human mind, but it's not. In the sense of real estate, this is one of the best pieces of technology that we've had in a very long time, in the sense that it's going to allow you to create more content quickly, be more effective. It's going to write it more effective. Okay, it's going to include those keywords. We're not SEO experts. We learn about it. We know we need to do it, but we're not SEO experts necessarily. So you can ask it to act as an SEO expert. You can ask it to act as really anything. So you can get very, very specific. Some others, like I created this Phoenix neighborhood guide. This was another one. Talked about all these different locations. This is one that I did yesterday. It can alleviate a ton of pain points, right? Who loves writing drip campaigns? I mean, Lauren, you might, because you have a journalism degree, right? So you might enjoy that part of it. But to take an idea and make it a reality for a lot of things has become way easier. So here's a 12-month drip campaign, right? Write me a 12-email drip campaign for home sellers in Las Vegas. I was there yesterday doing training, and it wrote out 12 emails for me. I think I stopped it, but it wrote out 12 emails for me with subject lines and the body of the email that I can just copy and paste and put in there. So it can take you from A to B much quicker on a lot of those tasking items that we know we need to do in our business to be successful. So I would use it. There's a free version still. There's a $20 version if you want GPT-4, which is like 100,000 times is the number that they gave, OpenAI gave. Better. It's very accurate. I haven't seen much. I mean, this is a software that passed the bar exam, that passed SATs. It's pretty phenomenal. Now, yes, it is scary, because here's another thing that can potentially eliminate more jobs in the sense of a human being around it. So, as real estate becomes more technologically advanced and we get more artificial intelligence in our wheelhouse, I'm not afraid of us going away as humans in this business. We're a relationship business. We are hundreds of thousands of dollars. Or millions of dollars, right? Depending on your price point. It's not like a consumer going to Amazon and spending $50, $100, $200. We're spending hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. So you still will need that human contact. It is still a relationship-based business. But we can use this technology to alleviate a lot of those pain points on the back end for all those tasks that maybe we don't like writing, or maybe we don't know where to start. Maybe we just need to be inspired. Same with listing descriptions. Have it write a listing description. Maybe you're not using the entire thing, but you're just getting some inspiration on some words or ways that tone of how you're presenting it can make it be better. That's kind of a long-winded answer, but does that help?
That's excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, there's like lead gen strategies. Like, what are some lead gen strategies? Okay, SEO for real estate. I had it write these blogs on this site. I didn't actually write these. The property taxes I showed you guys, I didn't write that, but it's accurate. It's accurate. Due dates are accurate, right? All that information is accurate. ChatGPT wrote this. I copied and pasted it onto my site. Let's see. I talked about investing real estate in Phoenix. Okay, all done with ChatGPT on these. So again, it could save you a lot of time, and it can also just help you get inspired about, and maybe you do like writing, or you want to write it to be more personable. You can just write it for some inspiration. So I would definitely try it. If you haven't signed up yet for ChatGPT, there is still a free version. I'll paste this in the chat box. You guys can, those who haven't tried it yet can get in there and see it. Or there's a paid version. Just know the free version, sometimes there's so many people on the platform that it'll say, you know, too many people are on it and try back again. If you pay for it, the $20 a month for GPT-4, you will always have access. Even if the free accounts can't get it, you'll still be able to get it. Video scripts, have it write video scripts. That's another thing that helps agents. Maybe you're not sure how to line out a video or what to talk about. Okay, so you can always have it do that as well. Social media captions, you can have it write those. It gives you hashtags and emojis in those social media captions. I think I wrote some yesterday for the training, right? There's an emoji in that email. Right, here's a caption. Just list it. Gives you emojis, gives you some hashtags. Listing description. Sometimes if you put the actual address in it, we'll know specific details of that property. You can limit it. So say you're, you know, in Arizona, I think we have 2,000 characters, or in AR Malaysia, you have 2,000 characters for your listing description. Tell it to stay under a certain amount of characters. Okay, so you can paste it in there. You can also translate. If you speak more than one language, make sure you're creating content in those additional languages as well. So I just translated this listing description to this in Spanish. Virtually all language you can translate. Okay, there's so much you can do in this. And if it can alleviate some of those pain points, absolutely take advantage of it. So key takeaway, right? We know that this industry is competitive. There's so many agents in here, but having a robust online presence is essential for attracting potential clients and staying ahead of the competition. Just the example I gave, say Carrie was creating all this content, even though if there's another agent that sells 10 times more real estate and they don't create this content, or I feel their online presence is not great, or it doesn't look like they're active, I'm gonna have the perception that they're not an active agent or they're a good agent, right? I'm gonna go with someone that has a lot of action going on in their online presence. All right, so by following these 7 high impact SEO tips and strategies, you can improve your website's visibility, generate more organic traffic. That is the whole goal here, where we want to generate more organic traffic to your site, to your store, get them in your ecosystem. But also remember, SEO is not an end result. It is an ongoing process. We're constantly creating new content. We're constantly optimizing. Things change all the time. So you have to be consistent in your effort, and you have to be able to adapt to the ever-changing digital landscape. So stay informed with the latest SEO trends and best practices. I have you covered there. Stick with ROC University. And of course, you can always consult a professional if you wanted to get more info on there. Any questions on what we went over today? Hopefully there is one good thing that you took away from this, maybe a good reminder. Maybe you can schedule yourself some time to make sure that you're creating those blog content or just website content and content in general on a weekly basis. At minimum, you should be putting new content on your website at least once a week. Okay, leverage the content, don't recreate pieces, leverage that piece of content you created, add it to your site, add it to your social media profiles, add it to your Google business profile. Okay, repurpose all that content you guys are creating. And also, if you haven't done an online presence audit to this year, for sure, get one done this week. All you're going to do is you're going to Google yourself, and you're going to Google yourself and see where you show up in that organic search. Is all your links correct? Is your naming convention consistent, right? And if you haven't done an online presence this quarter, right, we're in Q2, then make sure you get it done this quarter for sure. I'd highly recommend at least once a quarter. Right? And it doesn't take very long. You can spend an hour and just go through Google, make sure links are correct, make sure if you have any new photos you need to upload, maybe you've got new headshots. Okay, you want to make sure that you're keeping all that up to date. Any questions in general? Are we all excited for Cinco de Mayo? It's on a Friday, right? Margaritas, whatever you drink, or a mocktail. I'm just more excited for the food. Any questions in general before I let you guys go for the rest of your week? Awesome. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and reach out to your ROC Title sales executive. If you don't know who that is, reach out to me. I'll be happy to get you connected with them. And of course, as always, please consider writing ROC Title on your next contract. We would be happy to serve you and your clients. So I appreciate you guys so much for attending. Hopefully I'll see you in the next training, and we see you in escrow very, very soon. Have a great weekend, everyone.